So something scary happened yesterday, and it was very annoying. It was stressful, and it caused momentary panic because we were worried that one of our identities was stolen and that the perpetrators has opened a credit card and started buying illegal firearms with our information and money. It happened specifically under my husband's name, and the scammers called him to impersonate Bank of America, saying that there is a account with his name on it with a bogus number that they read to him, saying that someone is buying $5,000 worth of firearms in the state of New York, and that they flagged it because it looked like it wasn't part of his usual spending. So it sounds convincing so far. We have received notifications or calls from our cards before when we made purchases out of our usual pattern or habits, so they were called to check. So they asked my husband to confirm his information, which they read to him. They read to him our address, his name, and phone number. I don't think that my husband gave them his social. I hope he didn't. But then they asked him to make a report to the New York Police Department so that they can stop or close his account that has the fraudulent activities. And they offered to transfer him to the police department. This is where, if you guys were asked this, you need to hang up. That means that these are scammers, because banks don't usually do that where they transfer you directly to the police department. They would advise you to, but they would not do it. They would not have a hotline or a direct line to the police detective, whoever it is, to take down your case. So my husband did hang up, and that he called New York State and then the police department and told them about this scam that's happening. Now, he did file a report about it, but I don't think that's going to help much, but at least we know, or we have a record that someone was trying to steal our identity. So this is not the first time this type of scam has shown up, and maybe you guys have ran into it too. The first iteration that I ran into was an impersonator saying that they are from Border Patrol and that my information showed up on a bunch of Amazon receipts that were supposedly buying things for illegal immigration or human traffickers. So it sounds very serious. They read me some fake badge number, and they told me that I need to report my information to this number, which they gave me. And I hung up because it sounded really fishy, because if they're part of the government who is taking time to call me about this, they would already have my information. Why would they need me to then self-report myself to this bogus number? So I looked up the number. It doesn't belong to any State Department. And so this is something that I suggest any of you getting these very stressful phone calls, these impersonators, to do is look up the numbers before you give them your information. And also just double check your own information. So before we did anything, I logged into my husband's credit reporting company and checked to see where and when this Bank of America card showed up. And there was no history of us opening a card through Bank of America. And any credit card would be reported to all three of the credit bureaus. So no way it would not have shown up, especially if it's been active for what they claim 3 months. So they probably dug up some information from us in the internet that we may have opened a card back in April, which we did, but it wasn't through Bank of America. They were able to find our address, his name, and phone number. Again, these are not hard things to find on the internet. So that's why we all have to be vigilant and not just fall for their scam, because they put us in a panic mode. And that's what they're doing is, trying to get us stressed out, make themselves sound believable, and then in our moment of stress, we give them our information. So anyways, that was our hour of investigation wasted on these scammers impersonators. But I thought to share just in case any of you may run into this, because no one needs to stress in their life, and it's best to be able to prepare ourselves when it happens rather than losing our identity and having to do a much longer fight and plenty of paperwork to get that straightened out. So thanks for listening.